I have a special guest joining me today on Primetime Local News. Trevor W. Harrison is here. Trevor is an author. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Very glad to be here, Stacey.
Well, we're going to talk about your book, and it looks super, super interesting to me because it's basically essays of your travels during the 70s and 80s, which was a wild time for some of us. So tell me a little bit about the book and why you decided to do these essays.
Yeah, years ago when I was in my teens and early 20s, I actually thought maybe I'd end up being a journalist. And so when I was traveling around doing different things or working at different jobs, I actually kept pretty good notes at the time. And I'm now retired from my previous job as a professor at the University of Lethbridge, but I kind of returned to some of that early writing, poetry, short stories, and whatever. And as I was going through some old notes, I thought, oh, some of this stuff is actually to me kind of interesting, and maybe to someone else. The notes were actually pretty complete. So in terms of putting together stories around different things I'd been involved with, traveling places, jobs that I had, which in your early 20s are always interesting and very precarious. Anyway, I thought there's maybe a book here. And so I put it together over the last year and a half. And Ed Willett at Endless Skies Press thought, yes, this seems interesting to me too. So we came together on this deal.
And now, did you travel all over the world, Trevor?
I did travel a lot throughout the Middle East. Actually, I have another book coming out in the spring with Athabasca University Press about a trip through Afghanistan, Iran, India, and everything in the mid-late 70s. Some of the stories in this book, actually, a couple of them are from that trip. But I made some other trips as well to different places. And so some of those are reflected in the book, as well as some trips just across North America, quite often hitchhiking, which was kind of a thing to do back in the 70s.
Now, I don't want to give too much away about the plot, but are these stories, is it funny stories? Is it scary? Some, precarious situations or kind of a little bit of everything?
It's a little bit of everything. A lot of the stories are actually, I think, have a kind of a humorous tinge to them. I have to say that when I was young, I really liked reading Stephen Leacock. So if there's a tinge of that in here, I suspect, could be the case. But some of them are funny, but some of them I think are also quite honest and a bit poignant too. Some stories about traveling some places and some really difficult things that I saw happening in different places. So bit of a mixed bag.
Now, what is the name of the book, Trevor?
It is Tales This Side of the Elysian Fields, uh, which is just to give a brief note to people, the Elysian Fields is actually where warriors used to go as kind of like heaven after you die. Well, I haven't died yet. So that's why the stories are tales from this side of the Elysian Fields.
Well, now that you're getting older, Trevor, is there an opportunity maybe to do more travel and write another book on travel at the age you are now as compared to in your youth?
That's an interesting question because actually I just finished 3 weeks in November traveling through Southeast Asia, a place I had not traveled to before. And I was backpacking again and with my son. And I have to say, it felt a bit like I was 25 again, dodging traffic and broken sidewalks. Anyway, it was a wonderful experience, and I do expect I'm going to be continuing to do some more writing. As I said, I've gone back to writing poetry, some short stories, and maybe some travelogue things again. So, readers, if they buy this one, can look forward to perhaps a sequel.
Well, it sounds like you've led quite an interesting life, Trevor, and I'm glad that you can share that with all of us and we can experience it because not everybody gets to travel, especially to some of those exotic locales. So it's always interesting to see somebody else's take on that situation. So if we're looking for more information, Trevor, on yourself or at any of the books, what's the best place to find that all?
Yeah, in Lethbridge, the book is being sold at Analog Books, but you can also get it on Amazon. I know actually a number of people have already ordered from there, and I think some other small bookstores in Calgary, Edmonton, probably also Winnipeg, Regina, are also carrying it. So I would say phone ahead, and if they don't have it, ask them to bring it in.
All right. Well, Trevor, it's been a pleasure chatting with you today. Thank you so much. And we look
Thank
forward
you.
to hearing more from you and seeing what your travels take you this time. So thanks so much again, and happy holidays to you.
Same to you. Take care. Bye now.